Okay. Here's that one muscle group that was on top I was talking about earlier. Just separate the lobe out. Once you identify the lobes, you can separate it all out. Let the weight of the meat hang so you can cut it if you like. And looking at it from the profile, you'll see this lobe comes down here, and you'll see right here is where it about ends. So typically what I do is just come through there, cut it. There's another muscle group, makes decent steaks. There's one more here, but you need to clean up. Clean up. Don't be afraid to clean up all this stuff. You don't want that, even if you're going to grind the rest of this. You definitely do not want that in your hamburger. Start separating. This is going to all be hamburger. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this off. Anything white, get rid of it. Garbage, grind your meat. This way, doing it yourself, you know it's getting done. Where you take it somewhere to be processed, they're probably not going to be this fussy. They're going to get rid of your bloodshot and your hair and stuff for you, but they're not going to take the time to get rid of, is whatever fat you decide to get rid of or connective tissue. Because if they're going to grind it, they're just going to grind it. All right. And there again, it's up to your choice on how fussy you get. Some of this here isn't bad. It's okay. Okay, grind your meat. Grind your meat. Let's go ahead and address this, the lower shank here. I just cut down to the bone. There's really no good system for this. Just cut it off. It's all got to be ground anyways, so it's not going to matter. There's not much fat in it when you get down here on the lower leg. It's all grinder meat. There's really not much on there. It's all connective tissue anyway, so tendons and stuff. It's really tough. So a lot of times I'll do is I'll cut this very tip off just to get rid of the really tough stuff. But nothing, you can't take a steak out of that. It's too tough. So grinder meat, and there's a little bit left on here, not a whole lot. Just cut it down to the bone. Like that. Don't have to be pretty since it's going to be turned ground into hamburger anyways. And there we go. Leg's pretty good. It's pretty clean. Throw it in the trash. Grind your meat. Okay, I'm going to address this rear lobe. I'm going to clean this stuff all up first, then we're going to start going and staking it up. Connective tissue, it's not a bad piece of meat there now. Okay, that's ready to stake out. There again, this is just like on the back strap, that's sinew. This stuff's going to be, tendons and stuff is going to be tough as nails. Get rid of it. You're going to stake it out. Same thing down on this side. There's a strip on this outside edge here. Just come in there. If you're going to try to make a steak out of any of this, you definitely do not want that on there. Okay. I mean, you could cook it, but you break it down by cooking, but there we go. Okay, it's pretty thin right here where you can't get a steak out of, so what I do then is you come in there and trim that up. It's thin, That would be grinder meat. It's garbage. Okay. And a lot of times I'll take one cut off the end. Grinder meat. Okay. Now you've got there's a couple muscle groups in here that are a little bit smaller that you can stake out. Just there again, follow the openings. You see this one here. I mean, where I can literally pull it apart. I'll cut though first. Just follow that. That's like an individual. I mean, you're not gonna stake any of that out. Trim the fat and stuff off. Grind the meat. Okay, same thing here too. Don't be afraid to just go ahead and cut a little more meat off to get it cleaned up. You'll find your knife will dull up quite quick working with all the tendons in the lower shank, on the lower shank. Right here, like this muscle group is like got like a layer over the top of it. And that's fine, that's grinder meat. Just gonna separate this down into a steakable grinder meat. Alright, there we go. Now we've got 3 muscle groups here that we can do the same technique. Always make sure you're cutting across the grain, not with the grain when you're making your steaks, just like on the back strap. Same thing, you know, however thick you want it. 80-90% through. Cut. Okay, lay it out. There's a steak. And you'll see some of this connective tissue on here. If you want to cut it as you go, if you see it hanging it up. Okay, you can see there's the grain is cutting across it. And you can see, if you have any doubts, just look at it. You can see these lines running through there, so you know the grain runs this way, so make sure you're cutting 90 degrees to it. Again, I'm going to cut through. Butterfly, lay it out flat, makes a decent sized steak. This being from, you know, this part of the rear leg is going to be a little tougher, but still not bad. Steak. That'll be as far as I go. Grinder meat. Okay. Same thing with this. I typically will put the outside down when I'm doing my cutting. 90% through. Cut. Looks like I can get one more out of this. This could be close. Grinder meat. This one here though, I typically put the flat side down and put the round side up for cutting. Make typically one cut right through, grinder meat, and then start making your steak cuts. Cut through, cut it through, lay that out. There you go. You can see there's still one muscle group inside here, another one inside it, but you know, that's still going to make a decent sized steak. Cut through. Okay, and that's, you know, it's pretty good size. That's pretty decent. If your animal's bigger, you can obviously, you know, on a large buck, this thing's going to be about this big. You can just do a single cut and you won't have to butterfly, and you'll save yourself a lot of time. I'm going to butterfly these, all of them, just to make a decent size steak. There we go, butterfly laid out. This one, I mean, you could just, you know, stake it out or whatever, use it as a steak the way it is, but I'm just going to grind it.